All right, let's make sure this recording is working. Okay, good. All right, so first off, do you guys have any questions for me as far as the course or the course layout? Is it confusing? Do you need me to change anything? Anything like that. Feel free to speak up if you want.
The course itself, I like the layout of it. Most of my questions have to do with this week's assignment.
Okay. Sounds good. Anyone else?
I was the same way. I was just had a few questions regarding the upcoming module.
Okay. All right. Well, let's kind of, before I start tackling these modules, what I want to do is I want to first discuss the sort of the idea of the course. So the whole course is designed to provide you with the base knowledge of being able to open up your own facility. You know, how is it to open up a facility and manage a facility? And there's a lot of foundational knowledge that you need, like scope. You notice that the assignments are a lot of like, all right, look up this profession and, you know, to give me information on this profession, or, you know, what's fee for service versus billable, you know, items, or, for instance, you know, the upcoming social media marketing assignment, and then the mission and vision statement. It's basically all designed to sort of build upon itself, and by the end of the semester, you'll have a full business plan to design your own business. Knowing the scope of practice of each either healthcare provider or fitness professional is really important. And then, you know, if you're interested in like PT school or something like that, the business that you design can be geared towards whatever you want. I've had students in the past do a fitness business for animals. You know, I've had people in the past do I had one student do a female pole dancing fitness facility. And then I had students do physical therapy clinics. So the idea behind the course is that you have to design a facility from scratch, and a business from scratch. So, you know, that's the whole goal of the course. There's a few things that I do want to say as far as opening your own business, or being a manager, or being a leader in the field, is some key points that you need. Number one, you got to know the scope of practice of every type of certification out there, and know the scope of practice for either the fitness professional or the healthcare professional. Knowing that as a manager or a leader in the field is so crucial. Secondly, understanding how you develop your marketing plans, your profit loss, you know, different things like that is really, really important. And I want to try and delve into that as the semester goes on, especially when we do the draft of the business plan. I'll be replying to every single business plan. I read every single one. It takes a long time, but in the draft, I give you a lot of feedback of, number one, how to write a good paper and how to format a paper. And then number two, what really goes into each section and how you mold or model each section. And I try and make it so that each assignment does some sort of addition to, especially from module 3, I believe, or module 4 on, does some sort of contribution to the business plan. So yeah, that's basically the gist of the course as far as the whole idea behind it. When I opened up my business, I didn't have a course like this, and I basically had to figure all this stuff out on my own. So I kind of wanted to design this course so that students, if they wanted to open up their own facility, that they could, and they didn't have to try and figure everything out along the way. So, all right. So where are you guys at as far as questions on the module for the assignment? And I'll kind of open up some of these assignments and talk about them from there. But which one were you guys had questions on?
Mine was about the marketing plan assignment, and I think you might have already answered that. I just didn't know, like, if there were specifics as far as, like, could you open up just like a cardio gym, or, how specific it was, or, if we were starting from scratch or what. I was just kind of really confused about what we were doing.
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely starting from scratch, and you could do whatever you want. So if you just wanted to do just a cardio fitness facility or just a spin bike facility, you could. If you want to make this, if you just want to get through the course and you want to make this easy, you can just, develop an easy business. But if you're really interested in managing or running or owning your own facility, then you're going to get more out of it. Then you can really dive deep into it, and go from there. There's a few things when you're developing a business that are really important, as far as the area or the location. I say with any good business, number one, having a novel concept or a novel idea is really good. You don't want to reinvent the wheel completely, because you take things that you see that work and are successful and then try and make them better. And that's usually one of the best ways to create a novel idea of business, is to not create a novel idea that there's never been anything like that, but look at a business that is already out there, or multiple businesses that are already out there, and just improve upon them. And then usually that is a kicker. Another thing is location. If you're hypothetically going to design this business and you want to open it here in Wilmington, well, I would just do a quick Google search for the type of business you want to open, and you'll see, let's just say, a group fitness facility. If you Google search that here in Wilmington, you'll probably pop up about 70 different locations. So, I would recommend don't open one up in Wilmington, because you're just setting yourself up for failure. Places open and close every single day here in Wilmington that are that style of facility. So, especially when you have big name brand companies like F45 moving in, that's going to really change the name of the game here in Wilmington. But so, that's important. Location's important. The novel concept is important. And then a really solid foundation of a business plan. There's a lot of people out there that say, you don't really need a business plan to open up a business. And as I've owned my business since 2016 and opened it, and then now I've gone through COVID and I've almost pretty much lost my business because of COVID, I can tell you this much: a solid business plan is crucial. And what's the most important aspect of business plan is knowing your target market and knowing the demographics for your area. Prior to opening up Seaside, what we did was we looked up the demographics for ages 15 to 45 who had a socioeconomic status of a moderate to good, and had an average household income of around $100,000 a year, because disposable income is really where you're going to get your services. Unless you want to open up a nonprofit, then that's different. But that's what we looked for. And we looked up census, we looked up New Hanover County material, and then we started doing research on active population groups and compared the active population groups with the median salary, and determined, okay, in a 10 square mile radius, or not square mile, but a 10-mile radius of the facility that we were planning on opening, we found that there was roughly 75,000 individuals that were the target market that we wanted. So then after that, it's okay, how do we target that target market, and how do we reach that target market with marketing and social media? And then from there, that's just how it grows. And then having a good, solid product really sells itself at times. So that's the purpose of this course, is to teach you guys how to do that. And I wish it was in person and not online, because then we could have some better discussions and kind of bounce some ideas off. But, unfortunately, just online, it's mostly just assignments. So that's kind of that, your social media marketing. If we click here, here's some examples. I got to change this. I don't even think my website is up and running anymore. Let me edit this real quick. But here's some examples of facilities It'll pop up again. But like Peak Athletics is still going, Access Fitness Training is going, Matt Skelly is still going. So a lot of these individuals look at so a lot of those facilities are still there. And the idea behind this is you're just going to create a mock website. And then you want to like screenshot the front page. A lot of these offer a free website builder. So you just want to do the front title page and then maybe a facilities services page. So have 2 pages, and you can use their stock photos, and you can use their templates. They have some really good templates. And then, you know, just kind of go from there as far as, you know, this assignment. And then you create the social media instructions. So it doesn't have to be super in depth, but here's some examples. For instance, Peak Athletics. They have a really, really good website. You know, and you can kind of look at their website. But what they did is they just used one of the templates that come with, you know, one of those sites, and goes from there. Same with mine. I built my website. I think Matt Skelly built his too. But you can see the differences in these. He does testimonials. That's pretty nice. And then this is becoming more and more popular. These style of websites is, you know, it's not just a page right here. It's a free-flowing long page. And the reason why they do that now is because it pings better on Google. And so you'll have a higher refresh rate on Google and a higher, basically like the order of where you get put. Like for instance, if we just Google, you know, fitness facility, Wilmington, the ones that pop up at the top are the people that usually pay for it. Like Matt Johnson, this was actually one of my students. He graduated, I believe it was 2 years ago. He took 3 of my courses. He's a good student. Anyways, he opened up his own facility. And he took over this women's fitness training center and bought that and then turned it into his facility here. But he does a lot of social media and a lot of marketing. And look, he even does these YouTube videos and YouTube channel. So he's doing it right. I think he's becoming pretty successful. And he purchased, I know he purchased that facility for only $50,000, all the equipment in it and everything. So he got a pretty good deal. But the people that land up at the top are the people that, number one, either pay for it or set up their website to be, have like keywords in it. Anyways, there's all sorts of stuff like that you can do. And once you get out, if you decide to open up your own business, you can take this a step further and go from there. Okay, let me see, what else are we gonna, what else did I want to go over if you can get back to this home page. The mission and vision statement, just you know, kind of look up examples of mission and vision statement. You can look up on websites too. I don't think I have mine online anymore, but some other people do. They'll usually put their mission and vision statement. One of the biggest companies in the United States called EXS, they have their mission and vision statement, and they're a huge, massive company. So let me see, what was this module 3 assignment? So for this marketing plan assignment, I put 2 examples here, Planet Fitness and CrossFit. CrossFit does a really good job of marketing. They did a really good job of creating this culture of fitness, and I think that's why CrossFits are so popular. Also, another reason why CrossFits are so popular is it's so cheap to open up a CrossFit. Whether you agree with what CrossFit does or not, you know, one thing that they do very, very well is sorry, I'm just opening this. One thing that they do very well is creating that culture of fitness and almost that cult-like atmosphere. So it was really smart the way he did that. All right, so the way that I want you guys to lay this out is lay it out in APA format. And these are going to be subheadings. These are going to be level 2 headings in your business plan. So the marketing plan is going to be a level 1 heading. So you'll have basically like marketing plan, and then these are level 2 headings right here. And if you need help understanding, okay, what's level 1, what's level 2 heading, I would look up, like I kept blackboarding here, I would look up this website right here. So go to New Owl APA. And then this is going to be kind of your bread and butter for APA citation, okay, or APA formatting. And if you have any questions on APA formatting, whether it's a running header or font or title page, you know, you can just search in here. So if you want to look up, you know, level 1 headings, just type it in there, and then it'll, okay, this is definitely different the way they have this set up. Wow. All right, they definitely changed this. Let's see. Now you can probably just go right here. Do not like the new way that they have this set up. Heck, I would just use a sample paper. That might be the best thing to do. Yeah, okay, cool. This is a good sample paper. But this is how your, for the draft, this is how your title page is going to be. For the marketing plan assignment, you want it to just be, don't worry about abstract, you're not going to have that. But for the marketing plan assignment, I would set it up like this. You'll have marketing plan as your level 1 heading. And then all of these will be your level 2 heading. So company description, you know, here you're just going to write a brief paragraph of what is your company. You know, really easy. So my company is a, you know, hybrid physical therapy / human performance center that focuses on rehabilitation, post-rehabilitation, and team strength and conditioning. You know, and then that could be your company description. Your product or service description. So this is where you want to write down your products or services that you offer. So if you offer physical therapy, you write, okay, physical therapy, we provide physical therapy to orthopedic outpatient, you know, or you can say physical therapy, we provide physical therapy to neuro patients, you know, be specific on the service description. You're also in your service description, write out how much you plan on charging for that service description. So in the description of what the service is, write out, okay, I plan on, you know, charging, I'm not going to be billing for services for physical therapy. So it's going to be, you know, $80 per visit, no time limit, or maybe there's a time limit, or maybe you're going to be billing for services. So you'll say that you'll be billing insurance companies, and then the copay is added. So whatever the copay is. If you're doing a human performance center or a physical therapy center or a group fitness center, you can say group fitness classes are $20 a class. And here's what we're going to offer. We're going to offer upper body class, a HIIT class, interval training class, whatever. Either way, in the products or service description, write down how much it costs and then the description of it. Your target market or consumer profile. Definitely add in socioeconomic status here, okay? So you want to add, okay, who's your demographic that you're going for? How many of that demographic population group is in the area that you're searching? And then what is their socioeconomic status? Because the socioeconomic status should match the cost of the description. If you're going for low to middle income socioeconomic status and you're a nonprofit organization, then you could have these service description, the cost of your services, to basically cover the overhead of the facility. So you could be, okay, you know, personal training sessions, since I'm a nonprofit, are $20 a session, you know, or $15 a session. You know, basically just covers the cost of you know, the trainer that's working, or a little bit of the cost of the trainer. So, but whatever your target market is and your consumer profile, make sure that it matches, number one, the product that you have, the company that you have, and then the cost of it. Knock out a SWOT analysis or marketing industry indicators. So what is a marketing industry indicator? It's basically basically what is the needs in the community for the product that you have, and then what are the competition for the product that you have. How many competitors are there? What are they doing that could be better than you? You know, that's like a marketing industry indicator. So what are the indicators that, number one, is in your region for your industry that you're going for? So what are the things that are happening in your industry outside of your business? I don't know if that makes any sense. Hopefully it does. Marketing promotions, come up with 2 different types of marketing strategies, an internal marketing strategy and an external marketing strategy. Then define what internal and external strategy mean. Your cost benefit analysis. Now this gets students the most. So what the cost benefit analysis is this. You need to determine basically your return on investment. So the cost benefit analysis is determining your what's called RTI, return on investment. So if it cost you, let's just throw out a ballpark number here, $200 to do an external marketing strategy, such as the bathroom signs. I'm sure you've all gone to you know, different areas and seen you know, for instance, marketing inside bathrooms and stuff like that. So if that cost, you know, $250 a month, well, how are you going to recoup your cost? So the cost benefit analysis is, if the marketing costs you $250 a month, how many of whatever these products you would have to sell to, number one, break even on that marketing strategy, and then number 2, how much money would you have to make off of whatever these products are to then turn a profit? And remember that in your cost benefit analysis, you're going to have to write, okay, first of all, how much does the external strategy cost you per month? And just come up with a you know, a estimated guess. And you can even Google some of this stuff, like how much does it cost to market on social media? There's a price for marketing on social media, you know, what to have an advertisement. You know, so how much the cost of the external strategy is, and then you want to lay out, okay, how much is your overhead? So your overhead is the cost of the employee. Then your overhead is going to be an estimated cost of what just operating expenses are. And operating expenses are like electric. You know, you're probably about, if depending on the square footage, about $200, $250 a month in electric. You know, do you have internet? That's probably about another $100 a month. So how much does your, and you could just write it as like, and I'll just show you an example here. So you'd have external strategy, cost be, you know, I don't know, let's say $250 per month. And then you would have operating expenses that are fixed. That's like rent, you know, these are examples like rent, maybe insurance payments, because you're going to have insurance, you know, different things like that. So you have fixed, and then you have operating expenses that are variable. And that's like payroll, you know, maybe electric, utilities, you know, things like that. And then just come up with average cost. It doesn't have to be too in depth, but I want you guys to get the idea of, okay, how much is your overhead, and how much do you need to make to turn a profit for that external strategy? So your return on investment, you know, will be total expenses, you know, total amount of expenses minus your gross income, and then that'll give you your net. And then at that point, then you'll have your net, and you can determine, all right, so I'm going to be, you know, hopefully you'll be in the black, not the red. And then so you're just going to come up with just basic, you know, usually your rent is going to run for like a 6,000 square foot facility will run probably at around, you know, anywhere between $7,000 to $10,000 a month, depending on where you're at. So that's an example for Wilmington. If you're going to be in like Burgaw, you want to open this place up in Burgaw or like Mebane or Shelby, you know, in the, you know, kind of in the countryside, then your rent is going to be vastly lower. So that is the example of the cost benefit analysis. And you can do this in like a table format, you know, if you want to make it nice and neat looking. But this is a huge, huge aspect of your business plan. So this is going to go in your business plan, and you want to kind of get this as nice and tight and complete as possible, so that when you get to you know, this right here in the following weeks, the business plan draft, a lot of your stuff is going to be completed. You'll notice that in the business plan draft, let's wait for it to pull up here. You're going to have to add in some more sections. Okay. So this business plan draft, you'll add in your title page and a logo. So you'll design a logo, a table of contents, then your executive summary. And your executive summary is similar to your company description, but it's basically summarizing the purpose of the business plan. And let me kind of give you guys a little tidbit of what the purpose for the business plan is. The business plan is twofold. Number one, so your employees, or so that you know how to, it's basically a map for you to execute your business efficiently for opening day. And then number two, if you don't have a business plan, you're not going to get a small business loan from a bank. No bank is going to give you a small business loan until you have a really, really solid business plan done. That's one of the first questions they ask you. So that's what the business plan is for. So you want to write it as if you're writing it to an audience that is, number one, mapping you for success for your business, and also writing it as if you're writing it to a professional audience for a bank, because they review this. So then you'll have your company description, and this is what is already completed. So your company description is, number one, what you did in this marketing plan assignment. And then you're going to add in the mission and vision statement that you created in the next module's assignment. And then your training plan. The training plan is basically this. How often are you going to have staff training, and what are you going to train your staff on? Number one, verbiage for talking with clients or patients. Number two, maintenance and cleaning of the facility. And then number three, your training plan is going to be operation, basically like operating success, or I don't know what's a good way to term it. I guess like scope of practice activities. So in other words, you're going to have a training plan for your physical therapists, and you're going to go over, you know, maybe once a quarter or once a year, you're going to go over, number one, any sort of harassment, sexual harassment. And then number two, you're going to go over proper technique when dealing with patients. So, you know, how would you coach Q a squat? Where do you need a spot for an exercise? How do you do manipulations? Or, you know, and you can give kind of just examples in that. So that's your training plan. Staffing is going to be what type of staff you're going to have, and that should match the services. This section here, this is from a previous assignment. So you're going to already have this done. So the final project requires 4 services with the cost, and then community needs assessment. This is part of your, this is basically what are the needs in your community for the types of services you're providing. Is there a need in the community? You better hope so, because you're providing a service. So hopefully there is. And this is based off of your demographic. Then your marketing plan goes in. So really your company description should be moved up Don't put your company description here. That's going to go up after the company description up here, so you don't need it twice. I don't know why I left it in here. So your marketing plan should start with your target market consumer profile. And then this is all the stuff that you've already worked on. And then if you have any marketing products, you can have like, water bottles, backpacks, things like that, t-shirts. And then if you're going to sell those products or you're going to give them away, if you're going to sell them, then you're going to have a tax ID number because you're going to have to pay taxes on all that stuff because you get taxed on it. I can tell you with my business, when I opened up my business, we had a lot of marketing products and everything we gave away for free, especially if they bought packages. We rarely sold shirts because for us, it was just free marketing. So we probably, from 2016 till this year, we were operating our business full force. I've probably given away maybe 600 t-shirts. So that's the sort of thing that really helps with marketing. And then your operational plan and financial plan, these are going to be needed to be completed for your final, not the draft. The draft, as you see here, you only need the headings, okay? Upfit timeline means how long is it going to take for you to do the internal construction? Are you going to build any walls? Are you going to put any equipment in there? Things like that. Your preferred location, preferred square footage. What are legal needs? Basically, this could be a one paragraph sentence for legal needs saying, the risk management team of the organization is going to be drafting a risk assessment to determine what are the risks of the company, or you can just Google what are some of the legal needs for a fitness facility. And then, you can almost just kind of regurgitate, paraphrase what you read. This is just one small paragraph. Insurance needs, you're going to need malpractice and you're going to need general. So professional liability and general liability. And what are the costs of those? And this can be ballpark. Usually if you're doing a fitness facility, it's roughly around anywhere between $2,000 to $6,000 a year is what insurance is for professional liability. For general liability, it's anywhere between $2,000 to $4,000 a year, depending on the size of your facility and how many people you see. And then that's basically it. Your account needs startup expense. I'll probably do another Zoom to go over this one more time as we get closer to the business plan draft and as we get closer to the final business plan. Okay. Any questions?
I have a question. So if I were gonna, you're fine. If I were gonna go through, if I were gonna do my geriatrics, is it okay if I include like gerontologists in my payroll?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're gonna do an older populations, geriatric population type of facility and do like fall prevention and proprioceptive training and all that, which is, by the way, really good idea, and there's a massive need for that. If you're going to open up a business like that, then you definitely want to have gerontology professionals. That's how I would term them. And then I would have a varying amount of gerontology professionals. You may want to think about doing somebody that's trained in some type of rehabilitative care. And then you may want to think about doing maybe some exercise physiologists, cardio physiologists, things like that to have on staff. But I would do something like that. That's not a bad idea.
Oh wait, Dr. McDaniel, I just had a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you think that, I know you said exercise physiologists and other stuff are not bad to include, but do you think nursing would be a good idea to include, or what do you think?
Yeah, it depends on what kind of business you want to open. But yeah, you can hire nurses on staff, absolutely, especially if your business is going to be more healthcare based. I mean, if you're going to have a healthcare facility, and that's what you want to design, then yeah, absolutely put nurses, hire, put that as part of your staffing. Just know that that's going to absolutely increase your payroll. So your hypotheticals on your cost benefit analysis for your services have to reflect that. So whatever service you provide, make sure you scale the price of your service up if you're having some of those mid-level to higher level providers on staff. If you're a fitness facility and you just have PTs and strength coaches on staff, then your service cost is going to be low. But if you start to have these nurses, then your services should be higher in cost.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, Dr. McDaniel.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? All right. Cool. Well, I'm going to post this video. I'm going to finish it up right now and post it. I'll probably try and do another Zoom in the next couple of weeks. Email me with questions if you have any questions. And, by all means, if you ever just want to chat about ideas for a business or, how to be a good leader in the field of the health and fitness industry. Not that I'm a good leader, but, I certainly been teaching this class for a while, so I can give you some pointers. Feel free to just shoot me an email, and, I don't mind setting up a time to chat. I love talking about this stuff. So, all righty. Yeah, go ahead.
What stuff is on the quiz for Sunday?
This quiz, it's mostly going to be, like, it's only 10 points. It's really easy. It's like scope of practice. It's probably questions on, accrediting bodies and things like that. So just basically the assignments that we've gone through, and based on the readings from your text. I put this quiz in here mostly and mainly because I needed to suffice the what's called the SLO, student learning objectives, for this course. So this, I had to prove that I'm meeting student learning objectives, and so basically that's part of the quiz. And you can see in the readings, if you just look at the readings from the previous stuff, like any one of these chapters, if you have this book, if you don't have it, then no big deal. You can probably Google. And I'm totally okay with open note, open book, and open resources. So you can sit there with Google open on one computer, and you have two computers, but or you can have it open on another tab, and just kind of help you answer those questions. I'm a big believer in utilizing resources for tests. Never in life, when you get out and you start working, that you're going to have a boss that says, hey, I want you to complete this project, but you can't use any resources to help you complete this project. That doesn't happen. So learning how to learn and learning how to use resources is important. So I'm okay with that. You can literally have Google open while you're taking that quiz, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. All right, I think that's pretty good. I will be in touch. And yeah, just look for my announcements, okay?
Thank you.
Awesome, thanks.
See you guys.